Poverty is not just the absence of money. Poverty is when you have to choose between eating today or surviving tomorrow. It is when you know you are on the wrong path, but have no way to turn back. It is when you work until exhaustion, yet your life does not change. And worse, when you begin to believe that this is your fate. In a dry, rural area in the western United States, there was a young man named Daniel, raised in a family where every dollar had to be calculated. An old house that could not block the cold winter winds, and summers that felt suffocating. His life had no room for choices, only acceptance and continuation. Daniel tried many ways to escape, working odd jobs, doing anything that could bring in money, but everything was just enough to survive, never enough to change. And gradually he realized a harsh truth, that hard work alone does not guarantee escape from poverty if you do not understand the right direction. In 2012, when Daniel turned 20, he followed his uncle to the Middle East, not out of passion, but because it was the only opportunity left, a foreign and harsh land, yet one that might offer a way out. The desert welcomed him with burning heat, endless stretches of sand and winds carrying fine dust that made breathing difficult. A place with no room for weakness, and even less for repeated mistakes. But what caught Daniel's attention was not the people, it was the camels. They were quiet, they did not show strength, yet they were at the center of every journey. Every movement depended on them. He began to observe closely every small detail, every repeated behavior, and realized that camels do not move randomly. Each step has rhythm, slow but steady. They do not speed up when excited, nor slow down when tired. They maintain an almost constant pace for hours. One noon, when the temperature rose above 40 degrees, the sand became too hot to touch. Daniel saw a camel kneel down, not out of exhaustion, but to rest at the right time, in the right way. It did not collapse, did not waste energy. It simply lowered its body to reduce heat exposure, then stood up and continued when necessary. He realized that camels do not do more than needed. They only do enough to survive and move forward. They do not waste energy on actions that bring no value. During a sudden sandstorm, Daniel panicked. He tried to cover his face, tried to move faster to escape. But the more he moved, the more disoriented he became. While the camels stood still, turned their heads against the wind, closed their nostrils, and waited for the storm to pass. After the storm, they continued as if nothing had happened. No panic, no exhaustion, as if everything had already been accounted for. There was a time when the entire group had to travel a full day without water. Daniel felt his throat burning dry, his body weakening, while the camels kept walking steadily, showing no signs of stress. And when water finally appeared, they drank heavily, yet could go on without it for days again. He was told that camels do not depend on current conditions. They prepare for the future. They store when possible, and conserve when necessary. This is not reaction. It is strategy. Daniel began to change the way he worked. He no longer exhausted all his energy in a single day, only to collapse the next. He divided his effort, maintained a steady rhythm, not too fast, not too slow, and most importantly, he did not stop. He also learned to control his emotions. When facing difficulty, he did not react immediately. He observed, just like camels standing still in a sandstorm, waiting for the right moment to act. These lessons did not come from books, nor from advice. They came from observing a creature that survives in an environment where humans struggle, yet does so naturally. After a few years, Daniel returned, not with as much money as he had hoped, but with something far more valuable, a mindset that most people do not possess. He started his business, not chasing trends, not seeking quick profits. He built step by step, just like a camel moving through the desert, not fast, but never stopping. For example, when he made profits, he did not spend everything. He kept a portion as reserve, like a camel storing energy. When the market became difficult, he did not panic. He slowed down, maintained rhythm, and waited. While many around him constantly changed direction, Daniel barely changed. He made small adjustments, but kept his principles. And that stability created difference over time. Years passed. Those who once moved faster began to slow down, while Daniel, through consistent accumulation, began to rise, not because he was better, but because he did not quit. His business grew, not explosively, not loudly, but solidly, able to withstand fluctuations, just like camels crossing harsh terrains without collapsing. When asked about his secret, Daniel did not talk about complex strategies. He simply said, "If you want to survive long term, you must learn to live like a camel. Do not chase emotions, do not waste energy, and always prepare for difficult times." Life is not a race of speed, it is a race of endurance, and once you understand that, you will no longer be distracted by short-term noise. If you are feeling stuck, if you are trying but see no results, the problem may not be that you are not trying hard enough. It may be that you have not learned how to sustain properly. Remember, camels never try to stand out, yet they are the best survivors in the desert. And in life, the winner is not the most talented, but the one who lasts the longest. If this story gives you a new perspective, subscribe to the channel now, not only to receive more valuable lessons, but also to become a driving force that helps this channel continue discovering and sharing deep insights from the mysterious world of animals, where every creature carries a survival strategy that humans can learn from.